Totally Killer is now streaming exclusively on Amazon Prime. This is directed by Nahnatchka, which this is only her second directing credit on film. She's mostly known for her television writing, especially on the show Young Rock. And basically, what you need to know about Totally Killer, this is like in the same vein of a Happy Death Day or a Freaky, taking a well-known concept that you've already seen before in like a big comedy, and then translating it into like this black comedy horror movie. Totally Killer is essentially Back to the Future meets Scream. 35 years after the shocking murders of 3 teenagers, the infamous killer returns on Halloween night to claim a 4th victim. When 17-year-old Jamie comes face to face with the masked maniac, she accidentally time travels back to 1987. Forced to navigate the unfamiliar culture, Jamie teams up with her teenage mother to take down the psycho once and for all. Yes, our main character interacting with their parents at teenage years. This concept is nothing you haven't seen before in comedy, but I gotta say, the overall direction and the overall writing of this flick, I was thoroughly entertained for the hour 45 minutes that they gave me. Kudos to this movie for actually embracing what it is and actually knowing what it is. This is definitely a rated R black comedy scary sort of movie. And the kills in this movie, while not the most remarkable or inventive you've seen before in these types of slasher flicks, they're still pretty fun. There's definitely blood everywhere. You get a bunch of clever F-bombs thrown into the mix. And all things considered, Totally Killer is a very fun watch. Our hero in this movie, as I mentioned, is Jamie, played by Kiernan Shipka, who you might know from Mad Men. She is awesome in this movie. She's not your conventional scary movie hero. She's not a typical audience character. She is very, very, very smart, and there's a lot of jokes centered around her traveling back in time and how everybody kind of thinks she's a psychic at first. And I think she sells the comedy of the situation really well. She actually had me laughing quite hard at a few points, especially once she goes to the high school in the 80s. And she's really great when she has to confront the killer as well. Because like I said, this isn't just some dumb, scary movie hero. She's using her brain here. And she's actually the one trying to set the trap on the perpetrator. And I can't really put a finger on why this feels so fresh now, even though this is a derivative concept, certainly. But I was just so thoroughly invested and entertained by what I was seeing. I also got to give a massive shout out to Olivia Holt, who plays the teenage version of Jamie's mother. She has a wonderful arc in this. Because you meet her and you immediately think she's going to be annoying and you think you're going to hate her guts. But she turns it around and it's a very, very heartfelt connection that she has with our hero here. Not to mention, she looks so much like Julie Bowen, who plays the present-day version of Pam, her mom. It's like they're doppelgangers, man. Now, this is definitely a very easy watch. If you have some spare time, I highly recommend checking out Totally Killer. Which, God, I'm looking at the schedule now, and this is only the first of the Killer trilogy that we're getting this October. Even though I still really dug this movie, there's a couple of things that are really, really holding this one back for me. While I don't think this movie is as funny as something like Freaky, I think a lot of that is because of the supporting cast here. Especially once she time travels, aside from 1 or 2 characters that she comes across, these high schoolers are way too stupid and way too oblivious to what our hero is telling them. Which part of me gets it. If you don't have these stupid characters to really contrast with your hero, you don't really have much conflict. But I feel like there's a line, and this movie drew that line where these characters were too stupid, where you almost didn't want to see them get out of this situation. And on the note of the killer himself, yeah, the fact that he wears this, like, expressionless mask and it has a smile indented into it, the eventual reveal of who the killer is, when you look back at the entire film and the sequence of events that leads up to it, they do their best to explain it, but I don't really think it makes a lot of sense. Like, yeah, I think I predicted the correct killer about 20 minutes deep into the flick, but it's like they went about it in the most nonsensical way. And better yet, almost the most forceful way imaginable. It's very weird. Like, I get why some choices in this movie were made in terms of the writing and the editing. And even though this is definitely more of a satire, you can kind of get away with holding the audience's hand. But you know what? Totally Killer at least presents this material in a way where it leaves you entertained. And it actually leaves me sitting here saying, if you have some spare time to kill, go check this one out on Amazon. I'm going to give Totally Killer a B+. gives you a great hero to root for. It gives you a very fun story, although derivative, and it's very fun overall. Let me know what you thought of Totally Killer down in the comments section below, and let me know what your favorite satire horror flick is out there. Lots that we can discuss over here and then some. Do consider becoming a subscriber and tap on that thumbs up as well. Really helps spread the love and continues to help grow this awesome community that we already are over here. Stay tuned for more videos very soon, including the rest of my Halloween special, in addition to all the other new releases that we're getting this October. Killers of the Flower Moon, The Killer is coming out on Netflix, David Fincher's newest crime thriller. I'm telling you guys, it's a killer trilogy. But that'll about do it, guys. Y'all are the best. And with all that being said, back talk commence.